Hello and welcome to EcoWorld Africa, the Pan-African European Environment Show. I'm Nelta Igbe from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm especially happy to introduce to you our new presenter at my side. Hello there, Felicia. Great to have you join us on EcoWorld Africa. Thank you and hello, NT. I'm so happy to be presenting this unique environmental magazine show, along with our partners DW in Germany and CTV in Nigeria. I'm Felicia Endersby here in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we've got such an exciting show lined up for you today. Have a look. We head to Namibia, where a small company has become a trailblazer in e-mobility. Then we're in the German capital of Berlin. The city has now become home to a host of wild animals foraging for food. And finally, we're in South Africa to meet an activist who's showing people how to deal with the dangers of climate change. In Namibia, the outlook for e-bikes is bright, at least according to a company called SunCycle. It is based in the capital of Windhoek, where they produce bicycles that are powered by the sun. In a place where the sun shines at least 300 days a year, it appears to be a promising concept. The firm tailors its bikes for different uses, with the aim of promoting sustainable and affordable mobility. Let's take a look at how that works.
Denzel Mayende's job is to deliver medicine to pharmacies around the Namibian capital Windhoek. He does so on one of the country's first e-bikes. His deliveries need to arrive at the pharmacies early in the morning. This way he gets to avoid the traffic.
E-bike is very easy. The time I started there was an old bike, so oops, I used to struggle a lot with that bike, but this one gave me the strength to do my work. I do everything easily all the time.
So far, e-bikes are the rare exception on Namibia's roads. Marita and Bernhard Walter introduced them in 2014. Their social enterprise, SunCycles, is based in a converted shipping container in a backyard close to the city. SunCycles not only manufactures e-bikes made in Namibia, the company also builds recharging stations powered by solar cells. The bikes run on clean energy. That's part of the concept.
So our main aim is to provide an alternative and more sustainable form of transport to specifically low-income commuters, but also private customers, game guards, healthcare workers, kindergarten teachers, anywhere where a normal bicycle is limited in its usefulness and where a car can be substituted.
More than 100 SunCycle bikes are already in use around the country, including here at the Salambala Community Conservancy. The reserve is situated in the northeast of Namibia, where the Chobe River forms a natural border to Botswana. The wildlife here not only attracts tourists, but also bushmeat hunters and ivory poachers. For a long time, the rangers had to patrol the area on bikes with just one gear. Thanks to donations, they now have 8 e-bikes, which allow them to work far more efficiently. On a normal day, the rangers cover up to 25 kilometers of the bush.
E-bikes, they help us as rangers by conducting patrols in the core area here, as the conservancy is too big to patrol by footing.
The rangers wouldn't want to trade their bikes for a car. The bikes may not be as strong as a 4x4, but they're much more agile. They need to be recharged after every 60 kilometers.
During the daytime, we charge the car battery. And in the evening, we can take the cable and charge the battery of the bicycle with the car battery. So we can still charge the bicycle battery when it's dark.
The robust and simple design of the e-bikes is well suited to working in the bush and allows the rangers to do most repairs themselves. The team at SunCycles are already working on the next project. The city plans to build bicycle lanes on the major arteries between the city centre and the residential areas. This marks a major opportunity for the social startup.
So our next initiative will be focused specifically on low-income households, low to middle-income households, people that spend much of their disposable income on transport. And then we will introduce a lower range electric bike, which will be more affordable because electric bikes are still quite an expensive luxury item, and provide this as an alternative to the taxi.
The vision is that high sales will allow the company to lower the bike price from about €600 to 350. Sun Cycles also wants to convert more old shipping containers into solar charging stations, where commuters can exchange their flat batteries. The team are hoping that a crowdfunding campaign will bring in the necessary capital to get the project off the ground. While it may take some convincing to make commuters switch from car to bike, the rangers of the Salambala Conservancy have already been well and truly won over.
If you live in the countryside, then you may know the feeling of when a wild animal suddenly turns up at your front door. Here in South Africa, some cities are also getting some cheeky visitors, like apes.
You're right, Felicia. The promise of prosperity in the cities doesn't only attract people. Animals have also noticed it's easier to find food in the city gardens than outside in the countryside. In the German capital, Berlin, they've now even employed a commissioner for wild animals. The responsibility of that person is to de-escalate conflicts between humans and the growing urban wildlife. Take a look.
A wild boar strolling through Berlin.
We're not deep in the forest, but in a large park where thousands of people are out and about. They don't appear to be frightened of us.
Still, the boars keep their distance. Dirk Ehlert is the city's point man for wild animals. People often call him when they see a boar in the garden or a raccoon on the roof. He knows where the various species like to hang out. Locals out for a walk tend to take the company in their stride.
Seit vielen, vielen Jahren sind wir mit diesen Wildschweinen hier, ich sag mal, aufgewachsen und ich weiß genau, wie ich es zu handeln habe. Nicht? Also ich gehe, wenn mir die entgegenkommen, dann gehe ich auf den Wildschwein zu und dann streuen die auseinander.
There are probably between 2,000 and 4,000 in Berlin. Several other species also feel right at home in the city.
Das sind vor allem die Arten, die sich an uns Menschen gewöhnen, die sich anpassen können. Es hat verschiedene Gründe. Zum einen ist es natürlich das Umfeld, beispielsweise die intensiv genutzte landwirtschaftliche Fläche, die den Tieren entweder gar keinen Lebensraum mehr gibt oder die erst eine Reproduktion in diesen Mengen wie bei den Wildschweinen ermöglicht. Das zweite, ganz wesentliche ist, dass viele Tiere in der Stadt nicht gejagt werden.
On the other side of Berlin, in the Tierpark Zoo, Leon Bartel is looking for hedgehog nests. He's a biologist at the Leibniz Institute for Zoo and Wildlife Research.
Doch keiner drin. Und hier hat ein Igel eben diesen Baumstamm genutzt und heute liegt er aber auch nicht drin. Schauen wir mal hier beim dritten Nest.
Hedgehogs go out at night and sleep all day, but as we've just seen, not always in the same place.
Es gibt mehr Igel in den Städten als im Land. Und das liegt natürlich daran, dass wir mit unseren Gärten und den Parks eigentlich sehr gute Natur bieten.
The project he's working on is about how hedgehogs, bats, boars, raccoons, and other wild animals live in cities. Not the ones in zoo enclosures, but those living free.
Einmal ist es, Leute zu informieren, das heißt, dass Leute wieder bewusst sind, was für Wildtiere sie eigentlich auch im eigenen Garten haben können, aber auch unterstützen können, indem sie eben ein bisschen Platz lassen, Zäune wieder ein bisschen freier machen, dass Tiere da durch können. Aber eben auch langfristig, dass solche Arten auch bestehen bleiben. Weil was vielen nicht bewusst ist, dadurch, dass wir den Arten so viel Platz weggenommen haben, nehmen auch von vielen einheimischen Arten die Zahlen ab.
Back to the park where we met the wild boar. In the middle, there's a large lake. And it's not just humans who like to chill on its shores. Boars aren't known to be keen swimmers, but they are eager consumers of crisps and cookies.
Einerseits ist es natürlich interessant, so Tiere in der Stadt zu sehen. Gerade auch, ich habe einen Sohn und dem das zu zeigen, so wilde Tiere ist natürlich interessant, aber man kennt natürlich auch die Kehrseite, dass sie so sich schnell vermehren, den Müll fressen und suchen, Krankheiten in die Stadt bringen.
Dirk Ehlert also works with the public. That's really important, because people need to do their part to enable the peaceful coexistence of humans and animals in the big city.
Ob das Afrika ist, wo es eben dann andere Tiere sind, wie zum Beispiel eben Warzenschweine oder wie Elefanten, die in Siedlungsgebiet eindringen und da für Aufregung sorgen, als auch in Australien, andere Orte auf dieser Erde, wo wir ähnliche Probleme haben, man muss sich damit auseinandersetzen, mit den Kritikern, aber auch den Befürwortern. Und wir müssen einen Weg finden, diese Tiere zu leben. Jemand zu bekämpfen, ist sicherlich nicht das Ziel, was wir verfolgen dürfen.
Many cities have blossomed into hubs of biodiversity. It's often in the urban jungle that wild animals find what they need to survive and even to thrive.